Have you ever noticed something strange? The men who seem to attract the most attention are often the ones who aren't trying the hardest to get it. Meanwhile, some men spend months sending messages, changing their personality, doing everything they can to impress someone, only to end up feeling ignored. So what's happening? Is it luck, confidence, or is there something deeper that psychology has been trying to explain for years? The answer isn't that these men don't care about relationships. It's that they don't build their identity around getting one. And once you understand why, you'll never look at attraction the same way again. Part 1. Attraction changes when approval stops being the goal. One of the biggest misconceptions about dating is that attraction is earned by trying harder. Many people believe that if they're kind enough, patient enough, or persistent enough, eventually someone will choose them. But human psychology rarely works like that. The more desperately we seek approval, the more our behavior begins to revolve around avoiding rejection. We overthink every text. We apologize for things that don't need apologizing. We stop expressing honest opinions because we're afraid of losing someone. Ironically, the search for acceptance slowly erases the qualities that made us interesting in the first place. People are naturally drawn to those who seem comfortable being themselves, not because they're perfect, but because authenticity feels emotionally safe. But self-respect alone doesn't explain why some men effortlessly walk away when others can't. The next reason is even more powerful. Part 2. They understand that interest can't be negotiated. Imagine trying to convince someone to enjoy a song they simply don't like. You could explain every lyric, play it 100 times, or tell them why millions of people love it. None of that guarantees they'll suddenly enjoy listening. Attraction works in a surprisingly similar way. Real interest isn't something another person can argue you into feeling. It's something that develops naturally. Men who understand this stop treating rejection like a puzzle that needs solving. Instead of asking, "What can I do to make her like me?" they ask, "Are we genuinely compatible?" That single question changes everything, because compatibility is about choosing each other, not convincing each other. Mini reveal, and this leads to one of the biggest differences between emotional maturity and emotional dependency. Part 3. A full life creates natural confidence. Think about someone whose entire week depends on one text message. Now compare that with someone balancing meaningful work, close friendships, personal goals, and hobbies they genuinely enjoy. Who is more likely to stay emotionally grounded? Psychology suggests that people who spread their identity across multiple areas of life tend to recover from disappointment more easily. Because rejection affects one part of their life, not their entire sense of self. Relationships become something meaningful, not something desperately needed. Ironically, that emotional stability is often perceived as confidence. Here's something most people never realize. Being independent doesn't mean pushing everyone away. It actually makes healthy relationships easier. Part 4. Boundaries create clarity. Some people confuse boundaries with arrogance, but they're very different. A boundary isn't saying, "I'm better than you." It's saying, "I won't ignore my own values just to keep someone around." When someone repeatedly disappears, breaks promises, or only reaches out when it's convenient, continuing to tolerate the behavior rarely creates respect. Healthy relationships grow when expectations are clear on both sides. Strong boundaries don't push away the right people. They simply reveal who respects you and who only values access to your attention. And finally, there's one quality that quietly changes every relationship, whether it's romantic or not. Part 5. They are comfortable without constant validation. Perhaps the biggest difference is this. They don't see being single as evidence that something is wrong with them. They understand that being alone and being lonely are completely different experiences. Someone who enjoys their own company makes decisions from choice, not fear. They don't rush into unhealthy relationships just to avoid an empty weekend. They wait until they meet someone whose presence genuinely improves their life. And that's a completely different mindset from chasing anyone who shows interest. Psychologists often describe secure people as those who don't constantly need reassurance to feel valuable. Their confidence isn't loud. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't need to prove itself. It's simply built on a life they already enjoy living. So maybe the goal was never to stop chasing women. Maybe the real goal is to stop chasing validation. Because when your happiness depends entirely on someone choosing you, you give away far more than your attention. You give away your peace of mind. Healthy attraction isn't built on endless pursuit. It's built on mutual curiosity, mutual respect, and two people who are already whole choosing to build something together. Here's a question for you. What do you think is the biggest difference between confidence and simply pretending to be confident? Share your thoughts in the comments. Some of the best insights come from conversations like these. And if you enjoy exploring the psychology behind attraction, relationships, and human behavior, subscribe for more Psychology Explains videos every week.